Fixed it. There we go. Looks so much better. Boom. How's it look now? So you have to set the settings before you hit click live.
I'm sure we're live because it ain't showing up here yet.
Yeah. Refresh. It says it's been live for 30 seconds. It says we're live.
Oh, here it is. There we go.
That's so much better. And we got secret in the picture too. Let's start this.
All right, now we start the laborious task of getting this thing running right as it should. So we can give it back to the owner so we can have a reliable daily driver. Kind of a quick backstory on this. It's an auction bought vehicle. The owner got a really good deal on it, knowing he was going to have to go into it and do some repair. I don't think he quite thought it was going to be this deep, but definitely deep enough. We did get it running better. Both front fuel injectors had issues. On the fourth cylinder, someone just wired up a fuel injector connector, didn't realize that they thought that was cylinder 1 when this side is technically cylinder 1. So we got that fixed. If you look at our previous live stream, you can see how we did that live, got it running smooth in about an hour. But yeah, we had to fix some wire issues. For some reason, the wiring harness has been kind of chewed on. That doesn't look like a rodent did it. It's definitely human caused. We'll leave it at that. But today we're going to go ahead and finish putting the new injectors in, because now we got a brand new one in cylinder 1. Pulling up cylinder 1 fuel injector, the O-ring was ripped, so we know right there we're going to have potential misfires even if everything's working right, because we're going to be cleaning out the cylinders. So that's where we're at today. Stay tuned, we got a lot to do. It's going to be a fun one. Haven't ripped a 4-liter plastic intake off yet. Done plenty of plastic intakes, mostly imports, but a lot of the modern, we'll call them modular engines, all went plastic. So it's kind of one of those things, if you got to do fuel injection work, you're ripping something off, and that's pretty par for the course. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this one. Got some tools ready to go.
Do we have a Facebook channel, right?
Yes, I don't know that we actually use it. Anyway, give us a couple minutes. We're still trying to get things situated so we can get rolling on this.
Anytime we do a major teardown like this, we try to disconnect the battery, as automotive standards say. You should remove the battery anytime you are dealing with connectors and sensors, electrical. I really don't want to fry the computer or any of the other body control module components. So my battery is undone on the negative side. Now we are working on this is a 2007 Ford Explorer. Not a huge fan of Fords, but I'm not a huge fan of any auto manufacturer, especially working on them every day. Working on stuff every day kind of turns you off to all the auto manufacturers. Go ahead, so we're going to take the... You good over there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to plug in my phone to constant power.
we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the mass airflow sensor over here. We'll pop that up, put this wire over here. We're gonna go ahead and take this quick connect off. So I'm gonna take this air hose out completely because I just don't want to worry about it. I want to pull the whole intake up. I'm not gonna take off the throttle body or anything like that because it doesn't need to come off. And just simply undo this air hose, the air intake hose right here.
And we do have the battery disconnected before starting this little project.
Oh, I guess the whole air box is coming with it. Oh yeah, that's right, the air box is broken on this one.
Seems like a lot of the Ford stuff we work on the air boxes.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pull off this connector to the throttle body, except for it feels broken. That's awesome. Great. Okay. Undo
The other broken wire.
Yeah, undo the electronic throttle. And for this, I'm not going to pull off the rubber boot. I think I'm just going to undo the quick connect here. And just pull the whole thing up instead. I need a little tiny flathead for that. You could just pull it off. I was trying to avoid that.
Yeah, well, save the clips. You might have an O-ring in there.
Alright, so I don't think anything else has to be disconnected because I think that's free floating.
How does the EGR feed into the intake? That's definitely going to be an issue.
I think it goes through tubes. I don't think it connects to this because if it did, it would melt the intake. So it probably gets directed right into one of the cylinder heads, is my guess. I don't actually know because they changed it a couple times. So
Nope, goes right through right here.
into the throttle body.
Right there. It's going to have to come off.
Let me see if I can get a better look at that.
Yeah, you're going to feed inert gas straight into an intake. You're not going to...
Oh man, I wonder if it's just on an O-ring, and as soon as I pop up the bolts, if it'll just wiggle out, because it doesn't look like it's actually bolted to the intake. Well, it might be. I'll go ahead and I'll take off I'll get those bolts loose. I'll get some WD-40 on them right now.
Yeah, the O-ring's going to be right here. Or it's going to be a copper gasket.
Something, but I'll go ahead and I'll take off take out the two bolts just to be safe. I don't think it's gonna be on a 10. Yeah, that's on a 10.
Yeah, Ford's infinite wisdom to put a map sensor on the EGR.
Let me get some lube.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. For the last 10 years, we saw EGR not being used, and all of a sudden we're back to it with a lot of the newer engines. The Hemis have the EGR cooler into the intake. The Pentastar's are using EGR again. So I thought they could get away from it, but those tightening emission standards.
Out of everything, dude. I'm out of brake cleaner. I'm out of freeze off. I'm out of WD-40.
Yeah, being out of oil and stuff, trying to pop off heat-sensitive products. Okay, so at this point, it's going to have to remove the EGR feed tube. Do not want to be breaking an intake. And it looks like... Yeah, that bracket's going to come with it.
I'm just gonna undo those two bolts
Yeah.
because I don't want to undo the throttle body.
I might have to.
No, that's fine. I want to take off as less as possible.
Oh, of course.
boy. I have an inkling here that they way over torque these. Oh my gosh. That's how you know when something's been off before. You know what I probably could do? I could probably just undo that big giant nut and just pull the whole thing up with it.
Whatever.
Because I think I have a inkling here that they over tighten the whole thing.
Well, we know this intake's been off before, so you know
Right.
we're gonna find some interesting things.
Right. So I will go ahead and just. You want to get that vacuum line off right there, and then I'll just bust that big nut. Not too bad.
Yeah, from what I read, if anything goes bad in here, EGR, the diaphragm, or the map sensor, the whole thing goes bye-bye. Welcome to the world of assembly repair.
So it's on a 23. So that excludes probably the rest of my wrenches here. That's obviously too big, so 1 1/8, so it'd be a 1 1/16. Yep. And that was loose. So, you over tighten the EGR bolts, but then the actual tube, you don't tighten at all.
Thank God they did that, because I've seen those tubes be plenty of fight.
Oh yeah, no, this one was like, I didn't have to get a hammer out or anything. Now I did cheat a little bit, and I did use some WD-40.
Yeah, that's not enough time with it.
Well, we didn't pre-run this engine because I didn't want it to be hot.
No, not this time. While he's doing that, I'll work on this side. And a couple of vacuum hoses. One goes to brake booster, and one that goes to evap.
Man, this isn't putting up a fight at all. They definitely had this. They definitely did this very recently. I would say, what do you hate more? Cleaning up after someone's mess or dealing with a really rusty engine?
I think I'd rather deal with rust that someone hasn't been into. This is one of those jobs where I think someone's definitely been in here. We can agree to that, but what did they do and what we're going to have to fix?
Well, I hope there's no more cut wires.
Well, the computer was finally happy that night. Yeah, to finally see that PO 316 go away. 301, 303, 304. That was nice.
Okay. I got the tube moving and the nuts loose. So now we can start getting this intake off. Nuts loose. And I'll start undoing the intake bolts.
Hold on, I'm not sure if I got something on this side that goes to a valve cover. And it does.
I want to get one of them fancy ratchets.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. The bolts don't come out of this intake.
Nope, they usually don't. The captured.
That sucks. That means one of these bolts breaks. I really don't like how they use the Torx screw. Well, I should say fastener is the correct term.
Yeah. That one's gonna be fun to get off.
I can already smell. I don't think these injectors are right.
with as much misfiring as this thing was doing, I'm sure we're gonna have some interesting smells.
Here, easy.
Yeah, that's why I don't want you popping bolts yet till I get these hoses off.
There you go, just wiggle it.
Yeah, these evap hoses are definitely different. Oh, yeah, because someone's cut this. Of course. Hold on, before you do that, I gotta get this rear PCB off.
Man, I swear sometimes they give you just enough room to work. Just pop, no, the clip. Just,
No, I did.
you gotta push it in.
That's lock.
Yes. Push it in and then,
Yeah.
there you go. You should just push it in and pop the lock up.
I know. I have to fight this on my 6.2. Pop the rim back here.
You want me to do it?
My hands are smaller than mine.
You really gotta get over that, dude. Really? Here. Pop that up and then just pop.
Hold on. Yeah.
Don't break it.
Oh, I know. Okay, it's off.
This should be a fairly easy intake.
Yeah, once you get all the crap off of it. Pull the rail up, slip some injectors in, call it a day.
Pretty much, that's all we're doing. Customer doesn't want more than that. I have to assume probably, I can't see where these other bolts are. I have to assume there has to be one here. I think.
Yeah, normally it's long extension and poke right through the intake.
I can't see. Now we'll climb in there. Maybe check the comments. That was right, there was one right there.
So how much do we want to bet we're going to have some ripped O-rings
Oh, probably.
just because they put them in dry?
Probably. Got a flashlight or something?
Yeah, in the truck.
I got one in my truck too. Just grab my Milwaukee one out of my back seat. The problem is I cannot see where those other bolts are. Sure, there's one on the outside right here. There has to be. That's the intake. That's the fuel rail. There's one right there. trickier.
Yep, that's why we have many different types of extensions.
You know, my question is, where's that one? Oh, right there.
Alright, the other thing, if you're going to pull an intake, and I see this a lot on the Facebook forums, you know, people will do intakes and then they'll get a misfire afterwards. And why? Because they don't replace their intake gaskets. They are not lifetime gaskets. Must be replaced every time you pull the intake. I'll show you why once we get it up. We'll see if these are flattened out. Yeah, one thing about working on new cars, it's, you know, coming from a guy who used to work on 350s and carburetors, you know, normally if you had intake problems because it was leaking coolant, not air.
Okay. Where's my ammo crate? You want to pull this off together? Okay, so you're gonna have to
dream work.
you're gonna have to go at an angle and go up and pull back because I got. Oh wait, never mind.
Hold on, gotta get that tube through yet.
Okay. Oh, I definitely didn't do the intake gaskets right.
Nope.
Ooh, I think it smells like enough fuel, dude. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to get the shop back out before we do anything else.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I think those are the original injectors, just to be honest.
Well, if they are, they should say Fomoco on them.
Fomoco.
Fomoco.
I didn't do the intake right.
No, it's just got a lot of blow-by running through. Now, I don't know if that's because of the misfiring or overwhelming the PCB system. Oh, it's got a lot of grime in her. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up too well. Look down how everything's coated with oil. So I don't know if we got a PCB valve we can get to and change.
Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I'm popping the bolts to the fuel injectors, and we're going to pop up the rail, bungee cord it, so that way we can clean the ports and clean the intake ports out, vacuum it all out, so don't get any muck in the fuel injector holes or the intake holes. It doesn't look like anything else is... Oh my gosh, really? So they put new injector wires on every single one.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. This side wasn't touched. So this side looks to be okay, but they replaced every single set on the driver's side.
Because they didn't know that 1 and 3 are on that side.
Yeah, pretty much. The injector boot is blown up with it? Question mark?
Yeah, it looked like on cylinder 3 the O-ring was leaking.
Yeah. Well, what are we gonna do? I don't want to redo it. I mean, I could redo it with the connectors that AutoZone sent me, but we'll just leave it.
I mean, at the very least, this should be loomed. Or not loomed, but heat shrunk. But now we got gas everywhere. We can't just go start getting the heat gun out unless you use your heat shrink gun and I grab a piece of cardboard or something.
I don't even know where it's at. I think someone borrowed it and just never gave it back.
Yeah, it's stunning when we get in here and find other people have been in it. I mean, they did it right as far as what you're supposed to do, but they misdiagnosed it because they thought it was the old days.
Everything but pliers, man.
The O-ring come with it?
Yeah. I think if these are the original ones.
Nope, this one has a different O-ring on it. The other one. Oh, that's hilarious. The camera pick it up too well, but here was our failed injector. Notice the O-ring is green, right? Here's cylinder number 2 injector. Notice the O-ring is brown. See that one?
So there's some extra cups on here, and I don't really like that.
The other two didn't have cups.
I might have to replace these.
Are those supposed to be the locks?
And it just broke. It's like a plastic cup. And this is what the injector goes into.
These two didn't have them.
I know, it's because they're still in there.
Oh, they're still in the intake?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I need to go inside on my laptop and look. This one's our good one, so don't get that mixed.
Well, I could tell you don't have the blue on it.
Yeah, there's some plastic cups in here, dude. We're probably gonna have to replace those because one of them just cracked. That could be part of the misfire that we're having.
Yeah, because we also had a stuck lean code, but that's because the engine was, you know, pushing 150 pounds of compression through the exhaust system. Wow.
Yeah, see, like this cup came with it. This cup is bad too.
Yeah, this might be a short stream today. That is so odd. I mean, why didn't they just let the O-rings do the O-rings work instead of running them stupid cups?
Okay.
Well, this is Ford we're talking about here. Always trying to reinvent the wheel.
Dang it, I can't get this injector wire off. Can you get, where's that flat? Can you hand me that flathead?
Injector cups. This ain't no diesel.
Yeah, it's pretty much what they are. There we go. Okay.
You like Ford's idea of a fuel pressure regulator?
No, I don't. That's retarded. Alright, you got me any bungee cord?
Yes.
Yeah, no, these cups are fried, dude.
Yeah. Well, that would probably be from overheating or not running right.
Probably from the overheating, considering when we got this thing, it had no coolant in it. I mean, whoever did this job did this very dirty. They weren't clean about anything. I don't even think they cleaned the surface. They probably just threw new gaskets on the intake and was like, "Oh, just send it."
Yeah, they sent it right to the auction block.
Something, dude.
Dude, wipe it, or give it to me and I'll put it on the wiper arm.
That's fine.
It's gonna want to pull forward.
It's fine. Well, here. Actually, what I need is it to pull back.
That's what we do.
Let me redo this. I just wanted that out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, you can even rehook it to here. No, hook it to like, yeah. Yeah, every single one of these cups are bad, and then I'm gonna have to fix these wires right here. Pull that one up, so I'm gonna have to cut that back. Cut that back.
Yeah, you have some cleaning to do.
Yeah. I need to go research something real quick and see if we can get those stupid injector cups. I don't even know if that's what Ford is calling them. I'm probably wrong. They're probably gonna light us up in the comments.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else it would be called. I mean, it's a cup that the injector goes into.
Injector seal set.
Something. Let me go inside and see if we can even find this part. I mean, you would have to think that you would be able to get them. Or why wouldn't they come with the new injectors? I mean, that's usually when you have any seal system with an injector, usually comes in the box with the injector.
Yeah, that reused stuff is becoming pretty predominant in the industry. Oh, and those are hard plastic too. So it's hard plastic into this intake. Yeah, these are the usual messes we get into with Keith and Kevin's Repair and Restoration. And I don't see FOMOCO on the injectors. What numbers I do have are these. Yeah, camera's not going to pick it up, but it's FIA 60310 1223. Normally on every Ford part that's authentic, there's usually a stamp that says FOMOCO. Or FOMOCO. Alright, well, here now Kevin's going to check and see if he can even get those cup seals. Yeah, I don't know, that's kind of a dumb design really if you ask me. So far everything's been pretty straightforward and par for the course with this engine, but why put hard plastic in and then put seals in? I don't know. Alright, well we got this part. Let's look at a couple things. In the intake in the middle, it's pretty common, straightforward. We got one knock sensor. So that's pretty straightforward. PCV valves electronically controlled. Huh, that's interesting. I know Ford had a coolant heated one under 5.4s. We've had a couple trouble with those leaking or causing lean conditions because the O-rings go on it. Yeah, so this engine has 4 timing chains, 2 in the front, there's a 3 in the front and 1 in the back. It is goofy, and with this engine, I mean, you run it till something catastrophic breaks and then you toss it. A lot of mechanic shops won't even do timing chains on these. They'll just straight get the refurb motor, because the motor's got to come out anyway, depending on how many miles. Now, low mile units, yeah, I could see doing a set of chains, but you know, once you get to 150 to 200,000 miles, do the chains and then get your compression back up where it's supposed to be. Next thing you know, you're blowing the head gaskets out. Seen it. Yeah, the vacuum controlled fuel pressure regulator. That was an interesting one by Ford. It's cool to see when you're reading on a scan tool fuel pressure in a gas engine that's not a DI or a direct inject high pressure. And we still got one coolant leak to go through, but it's one of those things. You buy an auction vehicle, yeah, you might get lucky and not have anything to do with it, but most of the time you buy an auction vehicle, you're doing some type of repair. So the goal is to get it cheap enough, and this one he did. It's worth about $6 grand, and if I heard correctly, he got it for about $2. So $2,000 worth of work, you know, $6,000 vehicle for $3 grand. It's a verdict.
Okay, so they're called not fuel injector cups, but they're called fuel injector sleeves. But it's funny, when I said fuel injector cups, I brought up the sleeve. So what I don't understand is, how does metal to plastic to the injector going into the plastic create a seal? Because the whole point of having an injector O-ring is because sometimes the hole is not perfectly circular over time.
Well, you're
for the
trying to
vehicle.
stop vacuum from getting in too.
Well, right. So how is this smart? How is a plastic cup going into a aluminum cylinder head gonna seal to a fuel injector O-ring?
What I
When-
can probably tell you is that it's a very tight tolerance fit.
Right. Probably. So do you want to do the cleaning on this? And it turns out that the AutoZone off the road, where all the potheads work at, I already called them. They have it. So I can.
Do they have the safety clips? 'Cause every one of the safety locks on these are gone.
That's fine. This car has been this fine this long. I mean, I doubt putting some safety locks back on is really going to make the difference here.
Oh man. Well, see it was a Dorman kit?
Yep.
Oh, of course. Yeah, here's the problem. You would glue them in with some Loctite red. Okay, next time you have a problem, the thing will just shatter,
Don't
crumble,
put no Loctite on there.
and run right into that cylinder head. No, you just push them in and send it. Maybe there's a part in there that once you push the fuel injector down there, it squeezes out.
You know what would work really well in cleaning the intake surface off? That 3M Scotch-Brite thing that I have for the drill. My rubber thing.
Nah, I'm just gonna deal with brake cleaner and shop vac.
You have to scrape off all the oil and stuff on there.
Yeah, the brake cleaner.
You can tell they didn't scrape the intake at all. They just threw the gaskets on there and called it fit. There's no scratch marks on there. No razor blade.
Well, being that those are funky colored O-ring sets, it's probably the original Ford set for this. It's not a Felpro color. It's not a what's that on Mahal?
Alright, I'm gonna go get those injector sleeves. It's really what they are, is injector cups. It's really what they are, but whatever. I'll hook you up with shop vac, and then hopefully by the time I get back, we can do the O-rings and then put the fuel injectors back in and get this intake back on, and finish the spark plugs, so we can get the engine side done and then focus on the coolant issue another day. This customer wants spark plugs changed, spark plug wires. He wants the wires fixed and the coolant leak fixed.
Yeah.
Cool. Go team.
Go auction vehicle. Alright, well, I need brake cleaner.
Somewhere in that mess of the shop, I haven't got everything. I need to get everything organized again. There's more. There's brake cleaner floating all around here. Alright, I'll run to AutoZone real quick. I wish we could get AutoZone to sponsor us. That'd be cool. AutoZone and Super Clean. Use Super Clean on the try using Super Clean on the intake instead of using brake cleaner.
You got the head for that shop vac?
What do you mean?
The little.
Yeah. best project source. This isn't even the original.
Yep. Doesn't matter as long as it works. Alright, plug your ears, people. It's going to be noisy for a minute. Yeah, anytime that you start seeing oil build up around the intake, that gasket's done. And for some reason, it seems like this thing's gone through a little bit of mud. You gotta be real careful not to get dirt down that cylinder. Start killing the pistons. Yeah, I'm sure when we start it back up, I'll probably get that 316 misfire code back, just because brake cleaner is not the best combustible, although it will combust. Sometimes in a pinch, if I don't have starting fluid, I'm trying to figure out in a quick and dirty way that if I got ignition or a fuel problem, I'll throw a little brake cleaner down its throat and see if it fires off. If it don't, ignition. Or if it don't fire off with brake cleaner, you got an ignition problem. If it does fire off for that brief second and then shuts off, you got a fuel delivery problem. Kind of some old school ways of diagnosing stuff. Yeah, this thing having electronic PCV, it's one of those things you don't service it until the computer don't like what it's doing. So you have to tell them keep an eye on the oil. Of course, it's hard to say what kind of oil consumption you're going to have when the thing's misfiring and you got air pressure being shot everywhere from where it should be. Yeah, cleaning those injector sleeves, I guess Kevin called them. That's going to be a fun one. The other thing with dirt under this, when you go to retorque it, you'll get improper torque. You'll have dirt holding up the intake. And it won't seem like much, but it don't take much to upset one of these engines as far as airflow goes. About 100 and I think it was 42,000 miles on this. So relatively low miles by today's standards. Normally on intakes, I'll take a razor blade and I'll just real easy just go around and just clean up the surface. You don't want to really dig into it and create scratches. But for a good seal, cleanliness next to godliness. And doing this, I've rarely had a problem, you know, when it goes back together and come up with a lean misfire because you got an intake leak. Climb in and have lunch, they say. Yeah, cylinder 3 definitely had a air leak going on. Not enough to cause a misfire code. I had the coil wires routed wrong. We used NKG spark plugs, which I guess would be okay if everything was running right. But we're going back with automotive craft product as much as we can. Just because if you want a Ford to run like a Ford, you don't put Honda parts in it. There's sometimes you got no choice, or you have to use aftermarket like these cups. You're lucky you can even find them today. I can see an air leak coming in from that. Those cups are dirty, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to get in there and clean that up. Problem is I got a lot of dirt and an open intake, so you know, this is about the time when bad things can happen. You can see where it's got one broke back here. Oh. That cylinder 3 is going to be a fun nightmare to clean. Yeah, if you want to know what those injector sleeve things look like, those are them right there. So that goes in the intake and then the injector goes in. So we got one back there that's cobbled up with dirt. And for some reason his shop vac don't have a lot of power to it. Okay, let's see if that rear cup. Yep, she sucked out. Well, getting the rest of these out. Now, that'll be interesting. Let's see, that was everything but pliers. Yeah, let's see how these cup sleeve thingies are going to come out. Yeah, pull right out, I guess. Good. Except for that one. Might be setting the light up here pretty soon. Got one of them out. Let's see, get the rest of these out, could be interesting. That one's out. Yeah, so you can see the kind of dirt that's coming into them. Yeah, dirt will act as a seal for a long time. So if you're chasing air leaks and you hear a hiss down in that valley, that's probably why. That one's out. That one's not out. It's now on cylinder 2. Cylinder 2 looks like it's probably missed it in there. Let's see, how many do I have out? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there anything left on the injectors? 2. Yeah, that's just really dirty. Kind of hard to tell. Let's pull the rest of these injectors out so we can get a cup count. Oh, these suckers can hold some fuel. Holy crap. Yep, so it looks like cylinder number 2 is stuck. I'm gonna get that one out. I mean, it's plastic, it shouldn't take that much force. It looks like it's gotten hot though. That one just crumbled. Yeah, that one's crumbled. Not good. That cylinder has gotten extremely hot. Yep, she's just crumbling to pieces. I don't think Ford intended for it to come out in pieces like that. That's how that last one came out. Not good. So either way, had we sent this off with a clean bill of health, it would have been back in short order. Those shouldn't disintegrate like that, but that's probably caused from a overheating issue. Now, maybe I won't think these engines aren't so tough. I mean, chronic overheating, misfiring, and once we fixed it, it sounded good. Alright, give me a second to get some light on the subject. It's starting to get dark. That might work. Alright, let's see if that looks any better. Nothing like some light on the subject. So right now Kevin's gone getting the injector sleeves at AutoZone. And one thing about it, if Dorman makes a part, there's a reason why. I guess while we're waiting, I'll clean this intake up. Normally I would take the time and clean it up and give it a bath, but this time not so much. So we'll get it up here, we'll change out those O-rings. You know, it's one of those things that must be done every time you pull a plastic intake. I'm sure there's going to be someone's going to argue with me and say, no, you don't have to. But the thing is, once this ridge is no longer pliable, and these gaskets you can tell are leaking because they're black here, so not too bad to do. Pretty much just grab a pair of pliers or a pick, and they should just pop right up. Yeah, this thing has been running bad for a little bit. One of those things in the area we live is people just keep driving even though lights come on, warn you things are going bad, and to kind of show you what I'm talking about here with these O-rings. Once you start getting oil on this top side, you're sucking vapor, you're sucking air. That's probably the only thing sealing this intake. Yeah, it's definitely had some marginal oil changes. Another way you could tell if it's had good oil changes, you just look at the color of that oil. Look, it's just black. It's like crude. So not the best oil change intervals. Someone probably bought into the lie of 7,500 mile oil interval changes. Not good. I mean, I get newer cars run cleaner, blah, 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 but even synthetic oil, you know, it can last so long. Hear that crispy nugget sound? Just like a Hemi, not too bad. Pentastar, same way. Yeah, I would say this engine definitely had some overheating.
Are we still live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dude, I was just on the phone with Tanner, and he was in front of somebody, and they just did a hit and run.
Oh, nice.
What's all these people doing hit and runs lately, man?
Even though it's a felony?
Yeah. Did you get the cups out?
Yep.
So here they are. Well, sorry, injector sleeve.
Huh.
But they're definitely plastics. I could see why they cracked. And they're hard, too.
Yeah, so cylinder number 2 came out in pieces.
Did you get it sucked out?
Yeah.
Did you verify that?
Yeah. I got it over here.
The customer is going to stop by.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to take this off camera and give it some super clean. So we've been using, you can use brake cleaner, but this super clean foaming stuff's really good for this kind of thing.
Do you want me to hook up the hot hose at my downstairs and run it through the...
Yeah, probably.
Okay. You want to come to the window then so I can put it through the window?
Yeah. I don't want to put too much down this thing's throat though. You gotta take the throttle body off too.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, there's a gasket behind it for one. Number 2, I don't want to get water on it. And the kit has the gasket in there, so should be a 10 mil, or it's 8.
10 or 8? I'll go downstairs and grab it.
Alright, let's take the throttle body off. Yeah, we spray this, we're going to have to keep it upright just to make sure we don't get any water in that EGR valve. Don't think these are going to be captured. Nope. Okay, that one was loose. Okay, we'll flip it over. Why Ford put a stud in that is beyond me. I gotta find an 8 box ends. I need to replace the gasket anyway. That's definitely an interesting sandwich gasket. Does not look like the one I have in my kit. Yeah, I don't think the Felpro kit's going to work because this is a sandwich gasket.
It's kind of weird.
Another reason I got to take it off is clean it. Look at all that oil cake.
Don't you just love it when people don't do their job?
Huh. 7,500 mile oil changes. Alright, I'm going to be off camera cleaning. Other than that, keep it upright like this. So if you do run water down here, we're not trying to push water back into the EGR valve. Flow comes in, valve's commanded, flow into the intake, and then down through the ports. Alright, we'll back with you in a bit.
Alright, got the throttle body clean. That's good. Just set that right there.
That was messy.
Don't have as many live people, but it is a holiday, so.
Yep. Most people are probably recovering from bad hangovers from last night.
Or they're still drinking.
Or still drinking.
So my meat right now is at about 130 degrees.
Yeah. A little bit to go.
Yeah. I did flip it. I should have flipped it earlier, but I didn't.
Alright, where's that Felpro kit at?
I think we stuck it in the trunk.
There's a guy I didn't, yeah, I don't remember. I was looking at it at night.
Well, it's also got the EGR gasket in it too. But I don't know if we should replace that or not.
If we don't open it, we leave it. gaskets are. Mass airflow have blocks, maybe? Or there's two different types of intakes used on these engines.
Possible.
Yeah, the EGR valve gasket's made in the U.S. And they got a green gasket in here too. Yeah, I was trying to think how to clean those port tests without getting crap in the engine.
There's not really finger parentheses good way to do it.
Maybe running the shop back as we're cleaning it, like on the intake side.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much that you can really do though. While that intake's out of my way, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut those injector wires and redo the butt connects. Man, they did such a lovely job here.
Yeah, I'd just do them one at a time so you don't get them backwards.
Wow, they didn't even do it right. They just pulled it right off. They didn't twist it or anything.
Nope. So that would have been a comeback, because now that we touched it, we own it.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's got to get fixed regardless.
I don't understand. I mean, I understand why they thought that that's cylinder, because it is the closest to the radiator. 135.
They should have done their due diligence, researched it.
They would have got on the internet, put in this year. It clearly shows the firing order.
Surprised we haven't had any people comment besides one person.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of these Dorman wire cutters. I think the Harbor Freight ones are going to win.
Yeah. Probably. Now it's sad on this repair. They were so close, but yet so far away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we call this a parts cannon job. Yep. Somebody load the parts cannon. Alright, I'll try to get in there and get those injector cups clean. I just don't understand that. Makes sense on a diesel, trying to cool the injector tips with copper. There's just no good way of doing this.
Nope.
But it has to be done.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, they got that one on there good.
1 out of 4.
I'm just not trying to take any of the original wire away.
Yep. Another Mission Impossible car for Keith and Kevin's Repair and Restoration.
We're gonna have to suck this out one more time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just carefully clean.
This is frustrating. Why do they gotta do crappy work, man?
I can see why they thought that 1, 3, and 5 are there, because this is closest to the radiator. But these are modular engines just do things completely freaking different. From my understanding of Ford engines, this is going back even before I was born, they used to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. And then for years they did like everybody else, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
They didn't use like good quality tape.
I probably used what he had on his electrician's truck. I guarantee you it was an electrician that worked on this. Although, in electrical, you don't use a lot of butt connector. Or maybe it was electrician's daughter's car and her boyfriend thought he knew something.
Oh man. This one's broke down here too.
Yeah. Told you. Still think I'm wrong about wanting to reharness this car?
I'm not reharnessing this car.
Looking at it now, it'd be a complete nightmare getting behind the firewall.
Right telling you.
Maybe one of those things. If I had the engine out and had access to all the tight parts, I would definitely entertain it.
Which we don't.
Which we're not, because this engine will run. We proved it. How long until it runs bad again? It depends how good our repair work is, I guess. Obviously, it comes down to something completely different. And the misfires have been chasing with it since you brought it here. Something simple like a bad sensor wouldn't be bad. Yeah, this number 2 cylinder got extremely hot. Well, let's just keep driving it. Even though I know the dash will probably come up and say reduced power, overheating condition. At least the newer Fords are doing that. I don't know about this one. We do know it has some limp mode capabilities because it came up and told us when the throttle body got zapped. It was in forced RPM mode. Oh, that was pretty funny. And I suppose anything with electronic throttle body is going to have a limp mode. Well, I gotta be able to get these cups so clean, just gotta make sure the bottoms of the seat's right. That's about as good clean as it's gonna get. Alright, our injector sleeves are clean, ready to go. Alright, we're going to clean the rest of the intake mating surface gasket sleeve area. Just want to make sure there's no gunk buildup where the O-rings sit. Didn't overheat enough to melt the intake, which is good. Might have been that cylinder too had a misfire. Only it was coming back up through the intake. Who knows? Or the oil contamination got to it. Which for 142,000 miles, if that lasts for the next 150,000 miles, I'm okay with that too. It's not normal to have to keep tearing this intake up. I didn't have a problem moving air before, so now it's a little cleaner. You know, maybe I'll have a better idle, won't shake as much. Yeah, so GM uses a balance shaft and Ford uses a bunch of freaking timing chains.
Which one's better? I don't know.
You got me. Alright, Felpro kit that we're using for this one. They're saying, you preach Ford Motorcraft parts. Yes, if you could get them. Gaskets, I don't know, Felpro's had a hit and miss with intake stuff, so if we get a misfire and a lean condition, we'll know what. That won't happen for about a year. Alright, real simple. Grab your new O-rings, just put them down. Nothing to it. There is no up or down. Oh, maybe it restarts after so much time.
Probably. This has got broken wires on it too. Oh my gosh. What is with all this like crap? Like why?
Got overheated or someone really read someone's wires. Alright, as I was saying before the camera clicked out, on this kit there are gaskets you may or may not have to use. Like that is definitely for a throttle body, but this one uses a plate gasket, so yeah, there's 3 gaskets, 4 gaskets we won't use. The green one, the EGR plate because we didn't take it off, another O-ring for the back half of a tube, and our plate gasket. Alright, I've already cleaned the throttle body, so pretty much just put the new gasket in and torque it down. The only thing I did not note is there's airflow teeth on the gaskets. We're going to have to look at something real quick. See if they got it offset 180 degrees or something.
Right, now I have to cut this back and figure out. You need to restart the live stream.
No. Okay, good. You can't put it in wrong. I suppose if you tried hard enough, you probably could. Let's just make sure that we can't put it in wrong. Okay, you can. Okay. Okay, looking at the throttle body. Okay, so there's teeth here that you can see. On camera can pick that up, but there's teeth here. If you have that on the top edge, you're going to limit your throttle movement because the throttle blade actually moves in here. So that's very interesting they did it that way. Yeah, to show you how much it does stick out. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It gets worse as you start digging back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fixable, but.
Of course it's fixable.
I might just cut these completely back and just reconnect them since the injector is just right there. I think that's probably the best solution.
As long as you don't get the order mixed up.
It's impossible.
Oh, it's possible.
No, it's not. Not on this.
Yeah, that's what we thought about that Magnum too. How the hell it ran with each plug off one? That one's still one for the books. Okay.
You can cut that there. I can cut that there. I'm wasting more wire. These idiots.
Okay, well, the long one went up here.
Some people's children, man.
Oh wait, I had this upside down when I took it apart, so the long stabby bolt goes on the bottom. Okay, we're gonna get two in this so we don't break the intake. Make sure the throttle blade can open up all the way. Okay, it can. The plastic stuff, either use a very low powered impact or just do it by hand. Flip this over. Is there a harness that I plugged into this throttle body? Or I shouldn't say that. A harness plug that hold on to this long capture?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to know when people tear stuff apart that shouldn't. Okay, we're going to get these started. Not torque them yet until they're all evenly ran. Okay, X torque, so X pattern. I'd probably say safely probably 7 or 8 foot-pounds. Yeah, once you start hearing that noise, stop. Okay, we're gonna go let this sit up and dry some more while we're waiting for the injectors to get worked on. Alright, intake is drying. Gaskets are in. And pretty much we need to put our cups in, sleeves. Talk about a mangled injection harness.
It's been a minute. I might need some more of those connectors. I'm out. That's how much I fixed on this car already. I went through that whole box.
Yeah. Don't know if we're getting this intake back on the deck.
Oh, we are.
Gonna get more connectors?
Yes, I am. No, because I need one for that too, because I can't leave that. You see that wire? I can't leave that wire like that either. And I'm really scared to undo the tape on the rest. Because this is an OEM tape right here. And I'm gonna take the tape off. I don't want to, but oh man, more exposed wires, dude. Oh no. Oh, more exposed wires. Oh, on every single one. Dang it, dude. Should get this on camera. Like, you cannot make this stuff up, bro. Like, this is savable if I get those butt connectors, but
Why
like...
do they have... Is that for the fan?
Yes. Dude, look at this, bro. I have never seen every single connector be like that. Like, why? It looks like they use one of those tools to stretch the wire and take the protective, like, casing off the wire. I mean, that is just insanity.
No, we didn't have any codes for the fan clutch, so it was working.
It was all taped together. How not?
But that would have shorted out.
It was all taped together. It wasn't protected. Each one wasn't taped. It was all taped together. So I don't know how we didn't have a code. Oh man, that's frustrating. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get another pack, especially if I have to fix those too.
That could be soldered.
I don't have enough meat.
No.
Look at that, dude. The connector tips right there, dude. I don't have enough meat. I'm gonna have to cut those in the center and pretty much use the meat that's already there. And this one is like the only one they didn't cut. And the thing is, if this is these wires are shared with the injector wires too.
Yeah, so if that shorts out, it's gonna
then
send
it's
it.
gonna short out the rest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny when this thing was running off camera. The first time we were playing with it, I started messing with the harness, and it started running better or running worse. Yeah, I don't think we've seen a harness this bad in a long time.
It's been a minute. It's ridiculous how much I'm having to cut back, man. I don't like it. We're really lucky we didn't fry any injector drivers or anything like that in the PCM.
I will say, this has been one strong computer. Should have blown something by now with all the arcing and touching and. Alright, that's one of those things. We're gonna take a break, eat some dinner. We'll probably end up coming back here after we get some more parts. So we'll be back with you in a couple hours, I guess.